Hello everyone and welcome to Brother Peace's Brothel. Brother Peace's second review of Impact Wrestling. I appreciate that my sudden emergence caught some of you off guard last week, but don't worry, this week I intend to knock you off your feet. I apologise for the shocking mic quality in the pilot. Brother Marky D and I agreed to do this in haste during a drug deal, and in my Valium-induced state I couldn't get this mic to work. But it works now, so buckle up, squadrons, as we get straight to Impact November 10th. It's not a good sign that the show begins with another recap with this terrible after effect put in. Oh god, I can't. I'm losing the will to live again. This is the full recap of this Johnny Bravo storyline that's aired since I've started this. Stop it, please, for God's sake, please stop it. There's no more time. Come on now, stop it now. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it! Stop it! The opening contest is a ladies' tag match. Some dork with a sachet over his shoulder introduces Emma, who's now Tennille Dashwood. She's teaming with Madison Rayne and they're taking on two ladies with fishnet stockings. I think Tennille Dashwood's really good. She was great as the bumbling Emma with the bad rhythm, and she was really good also as a villain who wrestled Asuka. My first time seeing these ladies in fishnet stockings, they're alright. They get the win on Madison Rayne with a tombstone piledriver. Tennille is not impressed. We get a brief backstage segment where Ethan Page and Carl Anderson slap one another, and then there's an advert for something inexplicable and terrible. It even starts with the trailer knockoff voice saying, "Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse." Well, at least you're being honest about it. Rohit Raju then defends his X Division Championship against TJP. Their segment last week was one of the few things I could praise on the show. They delivered the goods again this week. Raju has a crossface locked on. TJP is able to slickly reverse it into a knee bar. Rohit grabs the X Division title, and as referee Humpty Dumpty gets it out the ring, Rohit hits a kick to the yarn bag followed by a charging knee to retain the belt in a very solid encounter. Backstage, Fala Balor kisses a wad of cash and then slips it into his pocket. The female version of Crime Time then come along and pickpocket the money and replace it with some electric tape. The lady with the sunglasses finds this to be a hard transaction, so the blue braided lady has to really lay on the distraction. I didn't laugh, but I can see how this could have been funny. The Rascals then learn they're getting evicted in a segment which appears to be a parody of a show I'm not familiar with. These aren't nearly as bad as the Johnny Bravo skits, but there's still too much hokiness on this show. Chris Sabin then goes one-on-one with the bigger half of Triple XL, and damn, Chris Sabin hasn't aged. Chris Sabin gets the win after hitting 3 enziguris to the face, but he suffers a post-match beatdown from both members of Triple XL where there's a lot of wobbling. Sami Callihan's trying to get Chris Bay to work with him, and Tommy Dreamer is doing lie detector tests with the suspects. Father James Mitchell's a quality character, it's a shame that he's in this trash. Chris Bay, who looks and dresses like a star, now takes on Eddie Edwards, who looks like a homeless man who resides at the gym. That said, Eddie can still really go in the ring, and he proves it here. Check out this part of the match where Chris Bay does a resorte into his head scissors, nips up, straight into a dropkick. Damn, that's good. Only my second time seeing Chris Bay, and this match is so much better than his match last week with the Rascal. Chris Bay hits the Tom Dawkins kick, then goes for a springboard, but Eddie Edwards is able to pin him off it. Sami Callihan runs out, then Rich Swann runs out, we have a big schmoz, then Ken Shamrock runs out, then the Rascals run out, and ICU retreat. Backstage, the Evolution try and persuade Jordan to be their tag team partner. Jordan's not happy because she was blown off last week in favour of Madison Rayne in a really cringy and overly long segment. This segment is not cringy and it's short, so fair play to Impact. What I will say in all these segments though is that the camera's really jittery. Anyway, Jordan agrees to let Emma try and earn her trust back at Turning Point, but not a yes for entering the tag team tournament that will begin next Impact. There's a lot going on and they're promoting matches for both Turning Point on Saturday and next week's Impact, so it's kind of hard to keep up. In another backstage skit, Rich Swann suggests that him and the Rascal with the checkered sleeves take on the other two Rascals next week on Impact. Deanna and her tired-looking hippie manager are interviewed about the match at Turning Point with Su Yung for the Knockouts Championship. Cheap, ominous, spooky music suddenly starts playing as the manager disappears. We see the microphone, then the message, "I think you're alone now," appears on a window. It reminds me of that Tiffany song. I think we're alone now. We go to another interrogation and I hit the skip button at this point. I'm not doing this. So we move on to a tag match with Crazy Steve and Big Belly Balor versus Scum. Nice standing moonsault. Balor gets tagged in, his strikes look a bit weak and he runs a bit slow, but that's a nice Samoan drop. Scum get the victory with a double team top rope curb stomp. Another trailer airs for what you might torture prisoners of war with. So I thought this was like a return of that fake reality TV show that I'd seen in the Marky D reviews, but it turns out this is its own pay-per-view event on Fight TV. Why would you pay for this? Just put your money down the drain and cut out the middleman. The man with the secret to eternal youth is asking someone to be his tag team partner at Turning Point. The camera pans out and it's revealed to be none other than James Storm, who agrees to. Now that's pretty cool. Moose then attacks Willie Mack while he's being checked on by a doctor. He tries to choke him with a stethoscope. This is just not serious. Willie Mack turns the tables and is able to choke Moose for all of 5 seconds, and then he releases him, and Moose just backs down, and then Willie Mack walks away. The segments between these two in the last 3 weeks, from phantom belt shots to arm-stroking brawls, have just been abysmal. In the main event of the broadcast, Josh Alexander and Carl Anderson go to a non-finish, and they have a big schmoz to G up the tag match for Turning Point. Well, that was a much better show than last week. Yes, there were still some appalling backstage skits in the Johnny Bravo storyline, but much less of a focal point than it was last week, where it was all over the show. Other skits as well were not great. The stethoscope choking in a long line of really silly, badly executed stuff between Moose and Willie Mack. And having that music for Su Yung, it really just made it cheesy and silly. But the other backstage segments were watchable and advanced the plot. And also, in terms of the matches, that wasn't a bad match on the show, and I was really impressed with Chris Bay. So I'm actually looking forward to next week, reviewing November 17th. I will see you then next Friday when I review next week's Impact. Let's hope they can keep this up. Let's hope they can also improve their backstage segments and just banish the Johnny Bravo stuff. Keep up the good matches, and really you have a winning formula on your hands. So that wraps up this edition. Marky D will see you on his regular upload days, Saturday and Wednesday, and I'll see you back here next Friday. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications, hit a like and comment, but remember to check your grammar when you do so.
Y-O-U apostrophe R-E means you are. Y-O-U-R means you're.